What's up, y'all? TYT Sports. Jayar Jackson, Rick Strom, LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Where else do we go? Okay, so before we dive deeper into his comments that he had last night after the Cleveland Cavaliers only won by single digits, yet it felt like way more. Here is his shot chart. Now, what I want to just show is when this is his performance, this is usually going to equate with wins. It's going to equate with team success. It's going to equate with drive and kick open opportunities for guys like Kyle Korver, J.R. Smith, George Hill, many others. Correct?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, when he's going to the rack and it's 230 pounds of svelte muscle at 6'9.5".
Well, this is also a lot of shots too. There's the times when I think that they're not successful is when he's not very aggressive at all.
Yes, I agree.
You see all the misses, but look at the sheer number of shots. It's LeBron James. So when you take that many shots, you're not going to be shooting badly.
Right.
So, you know,
those are high percentage looks, man.
Absolutely. No, that's bread and butter. That's easy.
Obviously, it helps when Marcus Morris is in foul trouble, as he was yesterday. Jaylen Brown was in foul trouble as well. Yet LeBron simply had his will at every turn. And here were his comments after the game in the post-game presser. Take a look.
But to know where I come from, it's North City, 35 miles south of here, and to hear I'm in the same category or talked about jumping these greats in the playoffs. It's like I was a kid and I watched the playoffs so much, and I was like, I would love to be a part of that, that moment, that atmosphere. And I think it's pretty cool. You hear the scoring, the field goals made, and for a kid that really don't care much about scoring.
Interesting that we're going to hear a documentary a little later on his life when he's out of basketball, praising the greats. But to say that he's not focused on scoring, like, I love LeBron because a lot of people hate LeBron.
Yeah.
And because it's always like, well, he couldn't do this and he couldn't do that, and yet he's continually proving everyone wrong, and I root for that storyline. But what I noticed with him, obviously, everyone is going to be totally different from when you win and when you lose and you're talking to the media. There's always this feeling of LeBron giving you a little more, but then not necessarily being the truest form of himself. Because if there's one thing that he is, maybe he's not a knockdown three-point shooter, and maybe he had to go a little bit further in his definition of a scorer. But goddamn, he's a scorer.
He cares about scoring.
I don't know what he's talking about at the end.
There's times that he cares about scoring, there's times that he doesn't. So that's the thing, it's the knowledge of the game and the understanding of what needs to happen in each moment is what makes him that good, right?
Yeah.
So there's times he can take over a game, sure. Maybe he'll score 45, 50 points. But if he scores that in a way that doesn't do anything else for anyone else on the court, i.e. James Harden at times, then yeah, you'll score 98 points in that game, but you lose 105 to 98. So there's a way you have to get. He understands maybe his teammates. He understands how that'll transition into maybe their defense. They need to get some touches. They need to get some looks. But then there's times when he has to take over. Now the only gauge I think he's still trying to figure out, because there's times when I see him openly and obviously trying not to score, and I'm like, LeBron, you could have had 10 by now. And that's when I think when he takes himself out of the game a little too much.
Right.
Then they kind of fall.
But to go back to this, to say that.
So the scoring aspect, it's scoring, it means so much more than just scoring.
Right, he wants to get others involved, but he is a scorer. Like when he took on the Dallas Mavericks, went to his second finals, obviously they went to the first one, got killed by the San Antonio Spurs when it was him and literally nobody. When he went to Miami, right, and they lost to Dallas, all we talked about was too passive. Not much of a scorer. He was still scoring at will whenever the hell he wanted to. So I'm just saying, like, when he wins, he peels back the curtain little by little by little. But sometimes it's not fully factual.
And by the way, no, but that's
great. It's great.
Yeah.
And by the way, to speak on that, LeBron James has 1,107 points, 22 30-point games and 7 40-point games against the Celtics. I think that qualifies as a scorer, don't you think? LeBron in the 2018.
These numbers are just against the Celtics.
Just against the Celtics. Just against the Celtics. No.
Not in the playoffs only. That's huge.
No. Go back for one moment. Playoff career.
There's a way that they
playoff career.
That.
Look at the bottom. Playoff career. So that's against the Celtics all time.
In the playoffs.
No. His entire career.
Against Celtics in playoff career.
Yeah.
So a playoff career against the Celtics is what that sounds like. I don't want
Yes.
to go on the nitpick, but it just sounds like this is within only the playoffs against just the Celtics.
Correct. Throughout the entirety of his career in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, we're on the same page. LeBron in the 2018 playoffs, 33, 9-9, 6 40-point games, 3 triple-doubles, 2 buzzer beaters, 40-point games while shooting above 50% in the 2018 playoffs. LeBron James 6, all other NBA players combined 5. And then CJ even said, wow, that doesn't even look right. And then Tommy Beer went out. LeBron has shot better than 55% in all 6 of his 40-point games. That's the most such 40-point, 55-plus percentage games in one postseason via Basketball Reference dating back to 1964. To go a bit further, with tonight's performance, he's recorded 6 40-point games in the 2018 playoffs that ties the most by a player in any of the last 25 postseasons. AI had 6 in 2001. Who is that? Is that Alvin Williams?
No.
No?
I feel like
It's not Alvin Williams? Didn't he wear 20 with Toronto? All right, think about it for a moment. What he was talking about with a historic milestone, all-time leaders in playoff field goals made, LeBron James has now passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Again, that sounds like a score. So with all of that being said,
He just had lots of opportunities to do it. I mean, what, 6 straight finals are we at now?
this would be 8.
Jesus. So he's 7 definite, right?
7.
That's just a lot of opportunity, you know? Which, by the way, that's not to downplay it.
That's a lot of opportunity that he's created.
Exactly. That's I just want to at least go through the argument of, well, he's had more opportunities to score this many points. Like when someone says, look at your career numbers, but if you play a 20-year career versus a 10-year career, like, hey, you've had 10 more extra years to do it. So as far as playoff numbers, the fact that he's been doing this in the playoffs, and he's going to the finals every year, so it has more chance to score all these points and have all these numbers. It would seem as something like, once you mention it, like, oh, well, yeah, that's unfair. No. It means he's doing this every year in this extended season. People get tired.
Oh, and by the way, he's 33. He looks ageless.
Doing it.
Yeah.
And he's doing it better seemingly this year than previously.
Yet, what's the contrarian point as well? Oh, well, he needed Dwayne Wade, and he needed Chris Bosh, and he needed Ray Allen, he needed Kevin Love to come to Cleveland, who, by the way, when he has a bad game, NBA Twitter is crapping on Kevin Love. Like he is the next Mehmet Okur or Darko Milicic when he has a bad game. So like the contrarian point is, oh, well, he needed somebody. You know who else needed somebody? Magic, Michael. So we need to stop having this, not even devil's advocate, just a hater point. That's like, oh, well, LeBron needed this and that and this and that in order to get these numbers in the playoffs, and that's why he's not better than this guy or that guy who's my favorite player for this whatever reason. I'm sick of it.
He's the only player that does things like this and you don't even see it happen. When Shaq was dominating, you see it happening. You see the tide going. When Kobe was doing it, Jordan was doing it, you're like, oh my God.
Yes, very much
Look up, you're like, he's got 45?
Totally, and he continues to do it. Kawhi Leonard, is he gonna be in the playoffs with the Spurs? That's coming up next.